Okay, y'all. Today is going to be all about navigating the void. This is something that a lot of my clients and a lot of my students have been dealing with lately, and admittedly, myself as well. It's that space where you have gone through a major transition. You maybe have leveled up or released a job, a friendship, a relationship, and the next thing has not yet arrived. And you're in that space, the void, where maybe your faith, maybe your spirituality, maybe your belief is so much rockier than it normally is because the thing that you truly desire is not quite there yet. So I want to talk about this because it comes up again and again and again in sessions. And I know that this can be one of the scariest places to be because you just don't know. And when you are a ambitious, high performing, you know, person that loves to go after what they want, it can be such a scary place to find yourself in when you just aren't clear on exactly what's next. So I want to walk you through how I navigate this personally, how I navigate this with clients, because it's one of the, it truly is one of the scariest places to be when you don't have that vision. And when you're somebody who lives off of dreaming and visioning and achieving and going for the next thing, it can truly be like an identity rupture when you don't have clarity on what that next thing is. And so many coaches will ask you, okay, what's next? What's next? And I want to give you permission today to give yourself the grace and the space to say, I don't know. And we're going to get into more of that in just a second. But the first thing I want to share with you is that it is critical when you are in the void that you, number one, accept it, right? You may be thinking to yourself, I didn't even know there was a name for this, but I'm listening to this podcast, this episode, this clip found me today. And oh my gosh, this is exactly where I'm at. And so not only just having the awareness, but accepting like, okay, I'm in the void, I'm here, that's what this means, is a critical first step, because finding yourself in the void and then freaking out and panicking is the fastest way to keep you there longer. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is have that awareness, accept where you're at, and then begin to truly listen to your heart's desires. The thing is about this is because humans, we're so malleable and things change within us. It may be that your true heart's desire has changed. So you thought that you wanted one thing and you thought that you wanted one version of what that thing looked like. Example, maybe some iteration of your business, maybe some iteration of your relationship, maybe some iteration of your family dynamics. But when you get quiet and you sit with yourself right now today, it looks different from what you maybe had thought about it looking before. So it's critical that at this time you do some heart space work and you sit with your heart and ask, what is it that I really, truly desire and want right now today? Because the resistance and sometimes the disconnect between where we're at and where we want to be is because we have not fully, number one, gotten clear on what we want, and number two, accepted that that is actually what we want. And so much of the discontent in our day-to-day lives is because we're not being honest with ourselves about what we really want. Okay? So the first thing I want you to do is to really get clear and to listen to your heart's desire, because your heart is always speaking to you. Whether or not you're listening is the difference in our perceived reality. Okay? The second thing is to remember that success leaves clues. So whether that be in your relationship dynamic, things at home, things at work, things in your business, if you are finding that you are not having success as you perceive it, is to remember to look around for the evidence of where people are having success and remind yourself of what success looks like and how you are already having success in those dynamics today. So instead of being like, I'm a total failure, everything is flopping, nothing I do works, I want you to begin to really pay attention to the ways in which you're already winning. You're already receiving, some sort of wins, and you are seeing evidence that things are working, that you are improving, that you are learning. Maybe, for example, that you have a lot of conflict in your dynamic, but the conflict is, happening less and less. Or the conflicts are happening, they're shorter conflicts than they used to be. They used to go on for 2-3 days at a time or more, but now you all are able to resolve, in a night. These are the clues and the ways in which you can look and say, oh my gosh, things are getting better. I am seeing success. And looking for evidence in other relationships, in other dynamics, in other families, in other businesses, in other workspaces, and saying, if they can have it, why not me? If they're having success, then why not me? If they have what I want, then why not me? And seeing and listening and seeking wise counsel from those who have what you have. A lot of us listen to the advice of the people in our lives who don't have what we want. I have a joke with one of my friends where it's like, I'm not listening to people who don't have what I don't want, right? If you don't have what I want, why would I take advice from you? Right? The people that I want to seek counsel from are the people who have what I want, because I want to know what worked, what got you there. This is $1 million habit. All right. So remembering that success leaves clues, books, podcasts, YouTube videos. There are so many accessible ways for you to begin to learn and upskill and seek the clues to lead you to the path that you are seeking. Now, if you are finding that nothing exists and nothing is out there, and this is a clue that we have some inner work to do. We have some mindset shifts to have, okay? And we need to go back to step 1 and look at our heart's desire and check ourselves of how we're showing up and check our thoughts, all right? So the third thing is that it's okay not to know, you guys. It's okay to be in the void and know that you don't know right now. The scary thing about the void when you are the type of person that you are is that so often you have the clarity, you have the answers, you know your exact next step. And the thing about the void and the reason that it rocks you and it shakes you is because you're like, fuck, I don't know right now. And the more you resist that, the more it's going to persist. So it's critical that you say, you know what? I don't know. I don't have a clue right now what this looks like, but I'm going to open myself up to be a channel and receive whatever the universe, whatever the divine, whatever God has for me next. Because the more we resist, the less we are open to receiving our next assignment. This is critical. So if you're in that space and you're like, I don't know what happens for me next, Jessa. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what to get. I don't even know what my heart's desire is at this moment in time. It's okay. It's okay to not know. In fact, I like to joke when I'm in this space, you know what? At this moment in time, that's above my pay grade. When I get clarity, I can move forward. Until then, I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to focus on feeling good. I'm going to focus on doing the best that I can every single day and enjoying this human experience. We came here to have a wonderful time and to learn and to grow and to serve others. So if that is your case, right? If that's your mission and those are the things that align with you and your values, just remember it's okay to not know. You don't have to have everything figured out. It may be above your pay grade at this time. And that's all right. So you continue to do your best. You focus on yourself and you move forward. All right? Now, similarly to what I mentioned earlier about success leaving clues, is that you can follow the breadcrumbs. But this is different from success leaving clues in that, like, you need to learn and you need to pay attention and you need to look for evidence. The thing about following the breadcrumbs is this. A lot of us will go for the big, flashy, shiny, ooh, that's the next thing that lights me up. And I want you to pay more attention to the whispers. I want you to pay more attention to the things that come along with such quiet ease, you almost pass them by. right? The easiest and most abundant and the most joyful things in my life have always come from me just following the breadcrumbs. Meaning, for example, I have a huge corporate contract that I'm working on right now. This contract didn't come from me hustling, doing aggressive outreach. It came from me simply following the breadcrumbs of the universe, having that phone conversation, taking lunch with that one person to nurture that relationship a little bit more, easing up on certain areas of my business so I could focus on other areas instead. That little intuitive whisper that said, you know what, we're going to back up off of focusing on this platform and this dynamic, and we're going to shift quietly to this instead, following the breadcrumbs. And when the universe hands you on a silver platter, here's an option for you, and you check in with your heart space. You know what, this feels good, this feels easy, this feels aligned, I'm going to move forward with that. And then you put one foot in front of the other, in front of the other. And this is how alignment works. When we simply follow the breadcrumbs, it's when we start to run around in circles that we get tripped up on ourselves because we're overthinking it, we're overworking, we're overperforming, we're doing too much. And that busyness is what keeps us out of alignment from our true selves. All right. Now, I know that a lot of these lessons and these classes that I do are so focused on the business aspect with a little bit of mindset. But I want to share more about leadership, about success. I'm somebody who has lost over 100 pounds. I'm somebody who has gone from literally standing in line at food pantries to feed myself and my son, facing the constant threat of eviction with a negative 400 credit score, to somebody who has achieved true wealth and success and ease in my life. And I want to talk more about that. And I'm still navigating vulnerably and truthfully exactly what that looks like. And I want to thank you all for being here on this journey with me, for coming along for the ride and allowing me to share more about behind the scenes of what this whole process has looked like, because I want more of you all to have that and to experience more ease, more abundance, more joy, more pleasure, more fun, more of all the things that I feel like I can't keep this to myself anymore. I have been able to achieve my heart's desire in so many ways and get the things that I want out of life. And I want you all to be able to plug into that and share. I want to share what I've learned along the way and what I'm still learning. You know, a lot of this work is still embodied practice that I work on every single day, and I get to, practice every single day, because as we all know, healing is not a destination, it's a journey. And there's multiple levels, and no one's ever fully healed, right? We're all healing all of the layers, 7 generations forward, 7 generations back. And I'm just honored to share this work with you. And I have all kinds of offerings and things that will be coming out and new. And there's just so much coming from not only my personal brand, but also Spiritual Baddie HQ. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, if you want to work with me one-on-one and you want to sit down and you want to talk about your life and what your heart's desires are, and maybe map out a plan and get some guidance and get some feedback and get some coaching and just support to hold your hand and walk you through this next part of your journey and cross over the bridge to your next best step, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Until next time.